I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, June the 9th. Continue the pressure shrug off here later in the week as, you know, everybody, the big thing we talked about all week long was how the feeder board was down the limit on Tuesday. It didn't stick. The pressure from Chicago did not wash over into your cash markets. Cash markets continued just to shrug all that off. It looked to me like it's just a group of traders trying to manhandle your feeder board, which the feeder board is vulnerable for that because it is a shallow pool compared to most of your other publicly traded markets there and futures. But it didn't work, even though it had continued pressure on the feeder board. Your cash markets are still raging stronger. Look at the board on Thursday. Your live cattle futures on August was down just 15 cents, so not much of anything. June spot fat market there at 130-137, going to be carrying a considerable basis, but we still haven't had the bulk of the live trade yet. Feeder cattle board was down 85 cents, so those losses are starting to mount up on your feeder board, but it's not carrying over into your cash market. Had a few dressed fat sell on Thursday in Nebraska and Iowa from 220 to 221. That would be 4 to 5 higher than the bulk of last week's trade. Your actual dressed steer weights for the week ending May 27th come out at 838 pounds on your dressed steers average. That's 2 pounds bigger than the previous week, but still relatively light for the way things are now. Your Fed Cattle Exchange had their sale on Thursday now. They sold those, had 1,400 offered, only sold a little over 300 of them. Basically from last week's markets, 136.5 to 137. And probably if things don't change, I would say here on Friday going to get a little more than that, maybe working towards 140. But you might keep an eye on corn here. That's not the reason that your feeder board's been down this much this week, but December corn is now up over $4, which is not a big deal, but might be something to keep your eye on. Real-time index on Beef Market Central there had 800-pound feeder steers averaging 152.48 right there. That's up 39 cents compared to Wednesday's close, and that's just been gaining all week long. The final call on OKC West feeder market out of El Reno, Oklahoma had feeder steers $6 to $8 higher, so we knew they were working higher, but that final call being 6 to 8 better there from Market News, that's very strong. Early sales in Pratt, Kansas, feeder steers $1 to $6 higher, it looked like on Beef Market Central and early sales there. An individual quote out of Pratt at 12 noon on Thursday had 105 steers, weighed 894 at 157.75. That's your feeder flash for Friday.